you're going to look incredible in this one. Relax. Let go. Let yourself slip into something exquisite, something effortless, something unforgettable. And when you're ready, baby, dream of a new life.
My Best Friend's Girlfriend by Catherine Serafina. Chapter 1. Garrett leaned back in his chair, looking like he'd just been sentenced to life in prison. "They're hosting this stupid gala on Friday," he said, rubbing his temples. "And they're expecting me to show up with my serious girlfriend, the one I told them I've been dating for months." I nearly spit out my drink. "Wait, what? You told them you have a girlfriend and they want to meet her this weekend? What were you thinking?" "I wasn't thinking, Peter," Garrett groaned. "They wouldn't stop grilling me about why I don't date, so I panicked and said I was seeing someone. Now it's spiraled out of control, and I'm supposed to show up with her on my arm like we're madly in love." "All right," I said, leaning forward. "We've got, 4 days? We'll figure this out. I can help you find someone. Maybe a friend who owes you a favor, or someone with acting experience. Or a hooker," he said flatly. "Obviously a terrible idea," I shot back. "They'd sniff that out in 2 seconds. No, it has to be someone who knows you, can fake a history, and, most importantly, can charm your parents." Garrett let out a short laugh. "Yeah, because women like that are just lining up for the role of desperate fake girlfriend." I smirked. "You know, it's too bad I'm not a girl. I'd totally nail it." That got him. He burst out laughing, and I couldn't help but join in. "Yeah, Peter," he said through his laughter. "You'd make a great girlfriend. The beard stubble's a real selling point." "At least I'm loyal," I shot back, grinning. For a second, the tension broke, and it felt like any other problem we'd laugh our way through. Garrett and I decided not to stress about it, at least, not right away. We figured if we kept going about our day, inspiration might strike. Besides, it wasn't like we had any brilliant ideas yet, and forcing it wasn't gonna help. By the time evening rolled around, we were restless. It was a Monday, sure, but who cared? We needed a distraction. So we hit up the Velvet Room, our go-to club. The place was always lively, and we figured it'd be a good spot to, at the very least, unwind, and maybe, just maybe, find a miracle in the form of a woman willing to play the part of Garrett's girlfriend. We got in pretty quickly, and as always, the place was packed. Strobe lights flickered over the dance floor, and a bass-heavy remix of some pop song rattled the walls. The crowd was a mix of regulars and fresh faces, everyone buzzing with that electric energy of a night out. Garrett and I grabbed a couple of drinks and settled near the bar, scanning the room. "All right," I said, clinking my glass against his. "Here's to finding your soulmate, or at least someone who can fake it. So, your faux-mate." I got a small chuckle, and then he groaned. "Don't remind me, this feels like fishing in a desert." Still, we tried. We struck up conversations, dropped some jokes, and Garrett even pulled out that charm of his that usually worked wonders. But it wasn't our night. Or more specifically, it wasn't his night. Most of the girls we approached either weren't interested, had other plans, or just didn't click. "Okay, your turn," Garrett said, nudging me after another strikeout. "I have a girlfriend, remember?" I reminded him. "Yeah, but you're better at this. Besides, it's for the cause." I sighed, took a long sip of my drink, and reluctantly went for it. A couple of polite smiles, a handful of small talk, but nothing promising. Eventually, we found 2 women who seemed interested. Madison and Tasha. They were cute, funny, and even liked Garrett. But after a bit of conversation, it was clear they weren't going to be convincing enough to pull this off. They didn't know Garrett well enough, and there wasn't enough time to fake a deep connection. After a while, I decided to take a breather outside. The cool night air hit my face as I leaned against a brick wall. Pulling out my phone, I dialed Raina, my girlfriend of 7 months. "Hey babe," I said when she picked up. Her familiar voice instantly made me feel a little less exasperated. "Peter, how's my favorite troublemaker?" she teased. I chuckled. "Still causing trouble, obviously. You will not believe the week Garrett's having." "Oh, I can only imagine," she said, amusement in her tone. "What's going on this time?" And I told her everything. The gala, the fake girlfriend situation, the increasingly ridiculous search for someone who could pull it off. She laughed so hard I thought she might drop the phone. "This is amazing," she said between giggles. "You two are a sitcom waiting to happen. You know what? Borrow one of my wigs. I have that red one from Halloween last year. You'd look fabulous." "Yeah, thanks, but no thanks," I said, grinning to spite myself. Pretty sure Garrett's already traumatized enough. "Suit yourself," she said. "But seriously, good luck. This is the kind of thing I wish I could watch unfold in person." "I miss you," I said, leaning back against the wall. "I miss you too," she replied softly, "but we'll be back from Slovakia in about a week. Try not to burn the place down before then, okay?" "I'll do my best," I said with a chuckle. "Good night, Reina." "Good night, Peter, and tell Garrett I'm rooting for him." I hung up and stood there for a moment, staring at the city lights. A part of me wanted to laugh at how absurd the situation was, but another part knew the clock was ticking. We still had no idea how we were going to pull this off. With a sigh, I shoved my phone into my pocket and headed back into the club, ready to tell Garrett our search wasn't over just yet. After our lackluster night at the Velvet Room, Garrett and I called it quits. There was no point pushing it any further, not with our luck running on empty. We got into an Uber, and I dropped him off at his place first before heading home. By the time I crawled into bed, it was almost midnight.
4 days to find the perfect girlfriend. Good thing he already had me. He just didn't know it yet.
Still lost in the dream, aren't you? Don't worry. I've got plenty more where that came from. Sweet, sexy, transformative little dreams. All just a click away. And if you're craving the naughty versions, the ones too hot for YouTube, you know exactly where to find them. On my Patreon. I'll be waiting, gorgeous.